All right, it's time for the big hard facts today, and it's 4 minutes gone past the 5 o'clock hour. Welcome to the big hard fact on 99.3 Nigeria Info. We're live from our audiovisual studios right here in MaryAnn Crescent, Victoria Island, Lagos. And today we're going to be talking about Godfatherism and the ties that it has with corruption. I did tell you that my guest, who's going to be joining us, in fact, he has joined us via Zoom, is a former governorship candidate on the platform of the ADC in River State. And then, of course, he ported to the APC. He's joining us this evening. And I'd like to introduce him to you. My guest is an engineer and a politician. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us this evening from the FCT is engineer Biokpo Awara. I cannot pronounce his full name because it's a tongue twister, but it's so good to have you join us. Good evening.
Good evening, Mimi. Good evening, Nigerians.
It's Biokpo Mabo, right?
Yes, Biokpo Mabo. Okay, you stayed in River State, so you can.
I didn't want to murder the name, so I just wanted to be sure that, I got it right. It's good to have you join us. Happy New Year is in order. Let's start by
Happy New Year, Miriam.
Yes, let's start by looking at this issue of godfatherism in politics. I mean, and we're using River State, your state, as an example because of what's been happening lately between the former governor and the sitting governor, which has continuously stayed in the news. 2 days ago, Governor Wike was quoted to say that when the time comes, we will know who is who in River State, even though after a meeting that was called by Mr. President to wade into the matter and try to see if peace could be given a chance. It still looks like there's some sort of cold war that's going on in your state. First things first, how do you feel about this whole situation that's been unfolding between the sitting governor and the former governor? Let's start from there.
As a Rivers man, I'm not actually happy. I'm not happy that there's a fight. Definitely when there is a fight, some things will be stalled. So those things that are stalled that will affect the Rivers people makes me not to be happy.
But then, of course, many have pointed to the fact that this is happening because this is detail for how River State politics plays out, being that, again, today we're talking about godfatherism. Many wouldn't have known of a Fubara without a Governor Wike. And that this has been the case from the days of Chief Peter Odili all the way down to Governor Wike. But do you agree that godfatherism has been a thing in River State?
Before I begin, can I ask you a question, please?
Go ahead, please. Well, I do the questioning here, but I would allow that.
Please. Who is your role model in journalism?
Can you ask me that later?
Okay. So godfatherism, it cuts across every sector. Now it's prevalent now and sounds louder because politics is involved. If you go to every other industry, you will see godfatherism play out. But there is no individual that does not have somebody that has helped him to stand. So the person that has helped you is not like your father. So for River State, it has always been like that. Before I came to limelight, somebody adopted me. So if at that time I had won, that would be somebody that would have been my godfather. So if you look at Fubara and Governor Fubara and Governor Wike, he is his master. Even the governor admitted that it's father and son. So there is no need to even look around who is a godfather among them, because the governor has admitted that it's a quarrel between a father and a son. And to every government that has succeeded the other, somebody has made. For Governor Wike, former President Goodluck Jonathan was his godfather at that time that made him governor. So it's not something that is new. And I don't think it's something that we should fight over.
But when this issue of being a godfather or a father and a son begins to distort the free flow of governance, begins to get a spanner in the wheels of the people getting the dividends of democracy, that's when it does become a problem. For example, a case where a godfather is trying to control the state because, like in your words, the person helped you. I would really like to, for the benefit of my listeners, quantify or rather clarify what you mean by help. Because a lot of people helped me get here, but then they don't tell me how to do my shows or what to say on my shows.
Okay, there's a place that the governor has said that former Governor Wike is telling him what to do. He has never one day said that he has been commanded to do this or not to do that.
How do you explain all the people that how do you explain the people that he picked in the cabinet? How do you explain all those people who were loyal to Governor Wike, who when they're asked to do things have to report to the FCT minister first before they do what their governor, who's their principal, tells them to do? Explain that to me, please.
Okay, Mimi, let's understand one thing. What we read on social media might not be what is playing out. Let me give you a typical example. When I was adopted by former Governor Mechi, there was this speculation on social media that I was his driver, being his houseboy. The man had not seen me before the adoption. So if we believe on what we see on social media, to say that all the commissioners were nominated by former Governor Wilson Wike, when the governor has not said so, we might be moving on speculations. Let him, the governor, say so that the ones that I picked first as my commissioners, all were nominated by former Governor Wike. Then we know what to say. Okay. But he has not said so.
Okay, so let's take what you're saying to be the truth. And again, we didn't get this on social media. What can you explain why all of these people, in quotes, who were handpicked by the former governor to be in his cabinet, resigned almost at the same time when he was having problems with his, in quotes, godfather?
Okay, loyalty. You can be my boss, but my loyalty will be to another one.
So how am I certain that you're going to do the job, especially when it comes to governance? If I'm your boss, then your loyalty is supposed to lie with me.
When they were taking the oath of office, even the governor, one of the things that were contained in the schedule that they took office said that my personal feelings, my personal decisions, my personal actions will not interfere with my official duties. So accepting to work with the governor is different from who I am loyal to. So if today they said that they are working with the governor, but their loyalty is to former Governor Wike, and they are leaving, I think it's fine. It's fine that the governor will also find people that are loyal to him and work with them. And that even makes things easier for the governor, where you will not find people that when you tell them to do something, they might not do because of loyalty. He might be their direct boss, but their loyalty might not be with him. If you watch what happened during the banquet that they held, you could hear them say so. You could hear them pledge their loyalty to the former governor. But their former employer was the governor.
Let me play, and this is not about you. We're just, because you're giving me these answers, I want to, let's practicalize it, because whether we like it or not, we're watching what's happening in River State from the outside. So you give us a clearer picture. You at some point tried to be governor of River State at a time where the ADC had no powers or no huge structure as opposed to the APC and the PDP in the state. And the reasons why many had it even in the news, the reports were that because the APC at the time lost all of its tickets just before that election, you were more like a mole for the APC and a spoiler in that election. So I put it to you, were you doing the bidding of your godfather as a spoiler in that election?
I was never a spoiler. I bought form and people voted. I was never a spoiler. Former Governor Wike knew that he did not even win the election. Mimi, you were in River State. You knew the truth.
What's the truth here?
Everything
Sorry.
happened before you.
What was the truth?
The truth is that I won. I actually won the election.
How did you win the election?
But I saw the results.
Were you announced by INEC?
I saw. No. You know, that's why we want to get INEC for 22 days, wrote new results and announced. But that has passed. But I can tell you for free, when I was adopted, former Governor Amechi did not even give me one condition that when you become governor, you will do like this, you will do like that, you will not do this. He never did. Even on sideways, when party stalwarts were talking to me, when you win, you will make me this, you will make me that. When I went to him, he said, my brother, pay attention to the election. When you win, you decide what you will do. If you need our advice, we will give you. It's my godfather. Okay. So that's why I'm finding it difficult to believe what we see on social media, because I tasted a limelight that the man that's supposed to ordinarily would have given me orders told me that please be mindful about what you discuss with them so that they do not use it against you. Perhaps God allows you, you win.
I'm still stuck at the part where you say you won the election, and I'm not trying to discredit you or anything, because of course.
Okay.
I want to quickly ask a question because, like you said, I was in River State. In that election, there were two contenders, the APC and the PDP. Last minute, I remember because I covered the campaign, the last campaign for the presidential elections, where the then president came to River State at, I think, the Amesi Maka Stadium. I was there. Yes. And then, of course, sometime later, all of the candidates were disqualified. No one knew the ADC. I've lived in River State. AAC, I beg your pardon. No one knew the AAC. I lived in River State for so many years, and as far as I'm concerned, the AAC didn't come in as a huge contender back in the day. So I'm still wondering how you became, or how you think you won that election, even though, of course, the issue of INEC and all the other things are up for debate. But how did you think you could even stand a chance between the APC and the PDP? And then, of course, being adopted overnight by the APC then leader, Rotimi Amici.
So, the same, do you know why former Governor Wike is afraid of structure? It is not the person, but the structures that makes the man. APC had a structure.
So you're saying that you built on the APC structure for that election?
Just APC structure that, but I was surprised that I was coming to your studio then. My jingles were running in your studio that you never heard.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that we don't know you. I said I don't understand how you became a contender overnight. But now you've told us that you built on the APC structures, because I was talking about the AAC on its own, and that was a fact.
No. Yes. AAC was new, so we never had enough structure to have become major contender.
Thank you.
So having been adopted on the 6th of March. From that day, you were in River State. Just hearing that a man has been adopted, the thing went wildfire. You knew how the governor even shrinked to this present body that he has. it's not like it's something that is strange to anybody. But anyway, that has passed. But just look at how Godfatherism has actually affected our society. It makes virtually making the incumbent not to almost have a mind of his own. If he wants to establish things that are in his mind, then this crisis that we are having is happening. Just that River State is pronounced. Just River State is now pronounced. Go to Ebonyi State. Ebonyi State is quiet because Umahi just decided to step aside and keep quiet. Go to other states, Akwa Ibom, they are just waiting to happen. But the River State own is different. Perhaps we are peculiar people, and no state in every reign, in every regime, no state is always louder than River State. So perhaps that's what is happening.
I'm curious to know why Godfatherism is tied to corruption, because many would say this is a conduit for state funds to be siphoned. This is an avenue for a lot of things to be muscled by whoever the Godfather is. Some people would use Lagos as an example of why Godfatherism should not be the case, but you seem to be in support of it because you think that in your case of Godfatherism, you were benefiting. But who's to say that when you finally became the governor and the then minister Rotimi Amechi says to you, I want you to do this, this, and that, and even if it was inconveniencing for you, would you have done it?
Two things will happen. It's either I will obey him or I will not obey him.
And what do you think will happen?
But not obeying now, you will see a fight like this that is happening if I say I'm not obeying him. Now, but I was on my own case, like I told you, I was lucky that even when other party members, or Jukaye, all these people were giving me different forms to different conditions, he told me, please don't mind them. When you become governor, you decide what will happen. We will give you advice. So if a godfather doesn't want to give advice and want to become a controller general, then you have this. In Lagos, it's happening. But watch Ambode period. When Ambode was not listening to the president, he observed that the president stepped aside. Lagos moved forward. Lagos moved forward. There was no stall in governance in Lagos. But our own, we are finding what is happening. If a godfather wants to say that all that he wants must come to pass, and he don't put the state first, you bring distraction, you bring this local slang, bad blood, amongst your followers. And if you don't take time, it will transcend to generation. And that's what we're seeing in River State, where this group will rise up to abuse this group will rise up to abuse. And when these things are happening, we have people that sees themselves as a sycophants that will be lighting the fire, which ought not to be. As I am now, after the election, I was approached not to go to court with some offers. I went because I never wanted to betray the trust former Governor Mechi gave to me. So I also believe that if somebody has helped you, you also find a way not to discredit the person's effort. It pains when somebody helped you to become who you are, and you just turn around to
where is the interest? Where is the interest of the people who really did vote for you, or is it just that this person somehow magically made you governor by whatever means, whether it was by rigging or by magic? Where is the interest of the average person? Because all I'm hearing is your loyalty to the person who helped you. What about the people you intend to serve?
Okay, if you want to do what is in your mind in political sphere, first you must make a sacrifice to say, okay, let me serve the people and forget about the second term. Most times, second term is what brings fight. If I had won, my interest will be the people first. If that will conflict with another person, I might just decide to go for one term and satisfy the people. Because we take pledge and we think because we are saying God is not standing before us, we take pledge and just let it go like that. After all, almost everybody that we take pledge will either hold the Bible or the Quran. But people will just take oath and just leave it. You walk past a governor, he said you want to serve the people. The road they are driving past is bad. You go to a community, the water they are drinking is so bad. You go to, you see the health centers, people die of one disease or the other. So something that they can treat. And you say you are a governor and you want to serve Godfather, you want to serve these people. You are not even serious. You are not serious. So if you want to serve Godfather, it's different from serving the people. Serving Godfather will make you looking for an appointment or a future office. Serving the people will give you a future to have rest of mind even when leaving office.
Okay. All right. We're still talking with Biokpo. He is the former AAC governorship candidate in River State. We'll be right back after this break, and Lagos will be joining the conversation. Stay with us.
Step ahead with the latest news and trending conversations here on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Don't tell people you've added weight. Why are you losing weight?
Yeah.
You eating? No, it's not your business.
That money, the pass is good. That finally.
We should be patient and pray to God that God is going to answer our prayer.
Please, this is not all about prayer. It's not like everything is not prayer. That is Nigerian mentality. If you're not finding happiness in your home, you pray.
Your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
Some customers want to buy, and some people want to sell. Whether or not it's who you define, make you list your business. Hurry, go, visibility day, ready to take over the world. Make you list your business. Buy good soul, sell good soul, full prudent household, sharp, sharp, oh yeah, oh, visibility.
Visit www.wittyouneed.com today, because witty you need.
I'm here. Let's record.
Wow! I almost didn't recognize you.
Have I changed that much?
Your skin is simply brilliant.
Oh, yes. Idol Lightning Exfoliating Soap. It's my secret to clear, beautiful skin.
You look ready for your music video.
Idol Lightning Exfoliating Soap. Be bold, be beautiful, be Idol. Idol also comes in carrot and papaya variants. Idol is NAFDAC approved.
3 emerging artists, 4 mega producers, 3 record deals with Empire. Do you have what it takes? Pepsi Music Academy, in partnership with Empire, is Nigeria's confirmed music development program. Scan the QR code on any of our cool interactive Pepsi bottles or visit www.pepsimusicacademy.ng to register for free and stand a chance to kickstart your music career with a 2-year record deal with Empire. Pepsi Music Academy. Stardom begins here. Pepsi, thirsty for more.
The auditions for the Biokpo Secondary School Debate Competition have been extended. Hurry now! Enter for the chance to compete with the best of the best debaters in Lagos, Abuja, and Rivers. To begin, visit www.nigeriainfo.fm. Click on the Biokpo banner on the homepage. Pick one topic from the list provided. Argue 2 minutes in favor and 2 minutes against the topic. Upload your 4-minute audio recording in MP3 format. Complete the registration form and submit your entry. Ensure you give it your best shot. Auditions close on the 14th of January 2024. For sponsorship, call 070-3498-4352 or send an email to info@nigeriainfo.fm. I beg to differ, the season 7.
sugar and milk can I use, please?
John, just add 1 spoonful of milk and 3 cubes of sugar.
Auntie, do you still buy cocoa, milk, and sugar, then mix together in this economy?
Of course, yes.
You should try John Vent's 3-in-1 chocolate drink.
What's that?
John Vent's 3-in-1 chocolate drink has a good blend of rich cocoa, milk, and sugar. It's the answer to your busy schedule. Just add water and stir.
Really?
It's delicious, nourishing, and convenient to make. Plus, it dissolves fast.
John Vent 3-in-1 chocolate drink is good for busy mornings, on-the-go lunches, and those after-school snacks. You won't need milk or sugar. Just add water for instant goodness any time of the day. John Vent 3-in-1 chocolate drink is available nationwide in stores and supermarkets. Enjoy instant goodness of rich cocoa, milk, and sugar with John Vent's 3-in-1 chocolate drink.
As you see me so, I belong to the Chop Better gang. Now, why anytime I want chop like this, I dey put better things inside. For my yam porridge, after I don't put my fish, I go con deck am with onions, tatashe and ugu, con season am with correct no cubes for that delicious taste. Because my people, good life na life where you chop better.
Summer all your food with correct vegetables. Come season am with no cubes for that ogbonge delicious taste. Today, chop better.
It is easier to talk of poverty than to think of the poor.
Godfather, to negotiate with the European Union by December this year, 4,000 MOUs will be deployed in Europe.
To create a minimum standard of life below which no human being can fall is the elementary duty of the democratic state.
Kill corruption in our society. Let the poor breathe. Don't suffocate them.
133 million Nigerians in multi-dimensional poverty is an open veldt.
We're seeing in Nigeria today, it's a tragedy that we are all witnessing, because as we see things falling apart, the pressure instead is corruption.
And the people rail.
So the poor now is choking. The poor is suffocating.
Against politicians who equivocate.
People are not going to vote because everybody's angry with the government.
Theorize, postulate, dramatize.
I cannot vote anybody. I cannot vote for anybody again.
While the trite politics reduce even our very culture to the level of our poverty. And so, you must know that not chance, not odds, but choice is the most fortunate of our options. The people must choose the state. On Nigeria Info. Coming soon.
It's due you December. That means making statements your way, just like the queens of Real Housewives of Lagos. So just relax, because it's about you enjoying top-tier entertainment like Wura, Agu, School Run, and so much more. Only on Showmax. Do You December is also for the young ones and international movie lovers. Do You with SpongeBob, Fast X, and No Hard Feelings this festive anywhere, anytime without interruptions. Do You December is all about you. Subscribe now to Showmax.com.
Connection is very important, especially when it's strong. And you don't realize this until you are cut off. Keep your connection strong at home or on the go with Airtel Home Broadband Internet. Get any of our devices like the 7500 MiFi or the 10,000 router with instant 30 gigabytes or the 20,000 router with instant 100 gigabytes. Hurry to the nearest Airtel shop or visit www.airtel.com.ng/HBB to get started.
Airtel, a reason to imagine.
To cook correct food, they always give me joy. That's now why anytime where they cook like this, they always season them with no cubes. Come add correct vegetables inside. Ugu, tatasheo, shombo, onions. No one where I know they put. Now he make my pikin them, they always enjoy my cooking.
Daddy, I never will. I want more.
You summer all your food with correct vegetables. Come season them with no cubes for that ubonge delicious taste. Today, chop better.
Discover Lipton's flavorful and balanced taste. With our unique expertise, we select fine quality tea leaves from selected tea gardens around the world. Experience Lipton Yellow Label's flavorful and balanced taste in every sip. Discover Lipton's flavorful and balanced taste.
Before, their problem is say our shoulder too high. They say
say make we lower our chest. Now, they wonder why we know they ever lack airtime, credit, and data on top our glow line. Whether cash day or cash not day.
You dey mind their Proco people for this market?
We know they call ourselves digital generation for nothing. Abi to get airtime, credit, and data, take sell plenty market every day, non-stop. Now your mates,
Whether cash in our hand or you know deal, we could just dey buy data and airtime credit directly from our bank account with the Glow e-top up.
That is to say, no cash, no wahala.
Yes, so cashless recharge on the go, anytime, anywhere, no stress, no shake me, no wahala.
Buy data and airtime directly from your bank account with Glow e-top up. It is easy, quick, and available on your mobile apps, ATMs, websites, leading retailers, and Glow World shops. Or download Glow Cafe app to top up. Or dial *777#.
Glow Unlimited.
3 emerging artists, 4 mega producers, 3 record deals with Empire. Do you have what it takes? Pepsi Music Academy, in partnership with Empire, is Nigeria's confirmed music development program. Scan the QR code on any of our cool interactive Pepsi bottles or visit www.pepsimusicacademy.ng to register for free and stand a chance to kickstart your music career with a 2-year record deal with Empire. Pepsi Music Academy. Stardom begins here. Pepsi, thirsty for more.
Every parent wants to see their child growing up happy and healthy. Introducing Renzo Vitamins for Kids, a secret to your child's daily nutrition and boundless joy. With Renzo Vitamins, your child will have the energy to embrace every moment and unlock their full potential. Give your child a head start in life with Renzo Vitamins for Kids, because a happy child is a healthy child.
There were loads of moments that give me cool vibes when I get that Jara or when I get that sweet bonus from my 9 mobile network.
Enjoy 9 confirmed with 1,000 Naira activation bonus, 900% bonus on every recharge. Double data bonus on your first month recharge and a whopping 100% data bonus for 6 months. Get a new SIM or dial *1400# to migrate.
9 Mobile. Here for you. Here for Ninja.
And babes, I will be taking you to my village to introduce you to my parents. Mr. Man, you have jammed my jeep.
Abi, you did not see me trafficate me.
Just fix it, period, or call your insurance company.
Insurance again. Bros, I don't get you.
What? We don't have cornerstone third-party insurance policy that cover up to 3 million naira when you hit a car or damage your property.
Shield your vehicle today with a Cornerstone third-party insurance that covers up to 3 million naira for third-party vehicle or property damages. You can also get Cornerstone comprehensive insurance that covers both accidental damage, loss, or damage resulting from fire or theft, and lots more. Call 012-806-500 or visit cornerstone.com.ng now. Cornerstone, the future assured.
The auditions for the I Beg to Differ Secondary School Debate Competition have been extended. Hurry now. Enter for the chance to compete with the best of the best debaters in Lagos, Abuja, and Rivers. To begin, visit www.nigeriainfo.fm. Click on the I Beg to Differ banner on the homepage. Pick one topic from the list provided. Argue 2 minutes in favor and 2 minutes against the topic. Upload your 4-minute audio recording in MP3 format. Complete the registration form and submit your entry. Ensure you give it your best shot. Auditions close on the 14th of January 2024. For sponsorship, call 070-3498-4352 or send an email to info@nigeriainfo.fm. I Beg to Differ, Season 7.
So that's how we go to the restaurant too. And it was
Sore throat is often caused by bacteria and viruses. It feels like you're having a party in your throat. You need Strepsils. It soothes the pain, plus it fights the germs with 2 germ-killing actives. Dual antibacterial action in 1 lozenge.
As I was saying, it was amazing.
Bye-bye sore throat. Take Strepsils. If symptoms persist after 3 days, please consult a doctor.
You are listening to your #1 station for talk.
Your #1 station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Welcome back to Hard Facts.
Credible journalism, bridging the gap between people and those in authority. With Hard Facts, you are sure to get only the facts.
Tune in to Hard Facts with MaryAnn Okon on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
All right, we're back to the big hard facts, and I still have my guest in the studio. He is a former governorship candidate of the AAC in Rivers State, Biokpo Awara, and he's an engineer by profession. We've been talking about Godfatherism, the links to corruption, and of course, using Rivers State as more of the example. And before we went on the break, he talked about a lot of things, and I'd like to do a quick recap before I open up the phone lines. Now, and what I've gotten from this conversation is that in one breath, you think that it's okay to have a godfather because you deem them as helpers. In another breath, if you found yourself in a position where you have, you've gotten into an office thanks to a godfather, you might not necessarily want to bend to the rules of that godfather. That means that we will find ourselves again where River State is at the moment. So 1 minute you like a godfather, but in the other breath you do not appreciate them. Does that mean that maybe you don't necessarily agree with godfatherism, that it should not be godfatherism in the true sense, or it should be more of a mentoring? And how will this help the political system in the country?
That is the best language. That is the best word to use. Mentoring. You mentor a person. Just like teaching a child. When you teach a child, at the time of examination, you allow him to write his examination and pass.
Mm-hmm.
But when somebody has helped you to be who you are, and want to come and tell you that you must do this, you must not do this, you must not do this. At the point, even if it's your father, you say, Daddy, wait more now. Daddy, wait more. I'm a man now. And it is high time we know when somebody is in power that this my child that I'm fathering is now a father. Because as you speak now, whether I would like it or not, if President Bola Ahmed Tinubu had a godfather, today is the father of the nation. So which means even the godfather in the societal measure is also his son to the president. So Godfatherism should be looked at in a way to mentor people to take over from you and allow them to give their best. Because if you don't want another person to control you on what you do, I don't think you should control the next person when the person takes power.
Okay.
I don't think so.
All right.
And perhaps you fall into a situation like that.
Mm-hmm.
Separate your fight from governance.
Okay. All right. Interesting way to put it. 0700 993 993 993. Join the conversation, Lagos. 0700 993 993 993. If you're a lady, call 01 465 7190. Do you agree with my guest or disagree with my guest? Join the conversation. What are your concerns? And if you have questions, comments, we're live on YouTube and Facebook.com/Nigeria Info FM. You could also send us a WhatsApp message, or if you're listening to us via our mobile app from outside of the country, we're live on Skype. We're Nigeria Info FM. Let's go, Lagos. Hello.
Hello, Maria.
Good evening. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good evening. This is Pastor Ladipo.
Pastor Ladipo, you have 60 seconds. Go ahead. Oh, goodness gracious. We lost you. Please call us back, Pastor Ladipo. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good evening, Mrs. Oboli.
Go ahead.
Okay, your guest is still there, right?
Yes.
I still strongly believe that in the Nigerian system of government, Godfatherism is a hydra-headed monster. But if he doesn't believe that same way, well, no problem. My question to your guest this evening is, the relationship between him and ex-governor Amechi and the present one with Fubara and Wike, is it the same thing? Or would he rather switch places if he were him? I don't know if you get my question.
Okay, all right. Mr. Awara, would you care to answer Mrs. Oboli's question?
Okay. Two things. My relationship with Amechi is actually different from what Governor Obara is also sharing with former Governor Wike. Amaechi is a man that will give you office and will step aside. He will not come to dictate to you what you will do. Or it will not be perceived in the society that is dictating to you what you will do. Even when he was a minister, those persons he appointed working under him, he never interfered with their job. But for Fubara and Wike, is different thing altogether. Wike is a man that does not like anybody to give him orders. His own is different. It's even different from Ambode and President Ahmed Bola Tinubu.
Okay.
His own case with Fubara is different thing altogether.
All right.
Now, he is somebody that wants to hold a structure. Want to say, this is a structure, I want to hold it down. But Amaechi will give you the structure and walk away, step aside.
All right, let's take another call. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Yeah, this is Pastor Ladipo.
All right, Pastor Ladipo, don't disappear again. Go ahead, 60 seconds.
I want to ask your guest, Godfatherism in the Nigerian context, Nigerian political context, is it the same way the way he's saying it, or placing a demand on the God son? That is the question I want to ask.
All right. Thank you very much for your question. I'll take one more and then he will answer everything. Hello. Welcome to Hard Facts.
Hello. Yeah, thank you. My name is Kunle.
Kunle, go ahead, please.
Okay, my question is, my comment is that you talked about the mentor and the mentee.
Mm-hmm.
I blame both sides in most cases. It's not just the mentor. Because this issue of Godfatherism, it is common in all spheres, even in organizations, private organizations. You see, you're not qualified for something, but you want to put yourself forward in the name of loyalty or Godfatherism and present yourself to the people. And definitely, at the end of the day, there'll be problems because the person who put you there knows you are not qualified, that he put you there on his own volition, and you yourself, you don't even know what to do because in the first place, you are clueless. So that's my problem about Godfatherism. It's a plague that is plaguing the society.
All right.
Not only politics, but even in organizations. Thank you.
All right, Kunle, thank you very much. I'll take one more and then I'll let... apologies. Do call us back if that was you. Hello.
Hi, good evening, MaryAnn.
Good evening. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Chika.
Chika, go ahead, please. 60 seconds.
For me, let me start by saying that until we lay much emphasis on less monetization of our politics, this issue of Godfatherism will not go away. Because the only reason why we're discussing Godfather today in Nigerian politics is because Nigerian politics is so much monetized. And so long as it continues like that, you cannot wish away the place of Godfather. Because the question I want to ask yourself is that what effect or what is the important role of these Godfathers? The only reason why we're discussing Wike and Fubara today is nothing but simply because of the resources of River State people, which is actually meant to use to work for the people of River State. Some people just want to have access to it day and night, which shouldn't be so.
Okay.
So I think until we lay much emphasis on actually demonetization of politics, with this issue of Godfatherism will not go away. I mean, look at Abia State, for example, today. Alex Oti came on board because nobody sponsored him. He has no Godfather. That is why we are seeing the kind of development we are seeing in Abia State today. So let us keep this emphasis of so much monetization on politics, then this issue of Godfatherism will not. Like I said, this Godfather...
Chika, your 60 seconds is over. As much as I like your voice. Oh, yeah, goodbye. Engineer Awara, go ahead, please. Respond to the first question that was asked. Yes.
Okay, Pastor Ladipo talked about Godfatherism and placing demands. You can't separate being a father to a son and when you are old, expecting your son to take care of you. You can't place it. You can place it.
Come on, you've got to be kidding me.
Come. No, come. I'm coming now. I just want to
take care of you with which money?
So,
It should
Miriam,
take
so you don't go to
it should take care of you
take
with
care
which
of your father.
no. Take no,
Wait,
this is not a
I'm coming.
family
I'm coming.
business. It's governance.
Miriam, I'm coming. Please, allow me to come. I'm coming from.
You have
I'm
been
coming to
coming since,
somewhere.
sir. Can you land?
Okay, let me land. Okay, so now it's expected ordinarily that a child will take care of his father. But when the father becomes so demanding, you get things that are happening like this in like River State. So if it is demanding in Governor Fobra has not come up to come openly to tell us the demands that are suffocating him. Until he says so, we will now look at the class of demands that have been made. That is number one. Number two is that if I give you opportunity and you say that I must do what you want all the time, there will be a day I will say no. And the demands should not be too much that I will not be strangled to say no. Another thing is that it's not every godfather that wants money from you. I just want to reply, Chika. It's not every godfather that wants money from you. It's some persons want that I am when there was this man that was in charge of Oyo State. I've forgotten his name. Is dead. His son is a minister. When he was Adelabu,
yes.
Adelabu never wanted money from anybody, but he wanted like the structure. The late Saraki, not Bokola Saraki, the late Saraki never wanted money from the people he helped to be in power. So that's where the demand of Pastor Ladepo is coming in. If the demand is about money, you will have this kind of problem. But if the demand is about how to make the people better, if the leader, if I'm a godfather and I say, Madam, you must
Okay, how many of our politicians, I mean, and we're talking percentages here, what's the percentage of politicians that have not necessarily had selfish interests and just only wanted to better the lot of the people? What's the percentage in your experience?
In my experience, percentage might be just be 15 or 20%.
Exactly. Thank you for answering that question. I want to quickly go.
Which is poor.
I want to quickly go to WhatsApp to read some of the messages that are coming in, because we're almost out of time. We have just 2 minutes. Someone here says, my primary function, the primary function of the state is for good life, just life, not just life. If it were just life, the animals and the slaves would have formed a state. On this ground, it is not difficult to fathom that whenever there's a security threat in any particular... Okay, I don't think this is for us. Okay, he says, an average politician in anywhere in the world is more loyal to his or her political party than the constitution of his or her state, and doesn't see the serving of the people and Godfather as a clog in the wheel for progress of a state or double standard, because there's no paragon of shame in politics. Afiz from a Papa sent this one. Adedibu, actually not Adelabu. Somebody sent the correct thing. Yes, Adedibu.
So
yes.
I'm not from the West. I'm sorry.
All right, quickly. Somebody says with let me see. This one says, the more I listen to your guest, the more I'm confused. In one breath, he says the godson must continue to be loyal to the godfather. But in another one, he says the incumbent must place the interests of the people above the godfather. Exactly my thought. He said, please ask him, did Wike display loyalty to his godfather throughout the 8 years in office? Did he never invited Jonathan or his wife to commission any projects as he was doing for others? And Dose. I have 49 seconds to wrap things up here. Engineer Awara, quickly.
Okay.
In 30 seconds.
She was right. She was right. Wike never did that reference to Goodluck Jonathan. So I must advise him that he should be careful so that Nemesis do not catch up with him.
Okay.
So I want to say that corruption is actually different from godfatherism. If not, Idu, president was not a godfather when she took that money.
Okay.
So it's not about godfatherism.
All right.
It's individual.
We have to go. I have 10 seconds.
Individual.
I have 10 seconds. I want to say thank you, Engineer Awara, for coming on the show. Biokpo Awara is a former governorship candidate in Rivers State. Thank you so much for coming on the show to speak with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you. You pronounce the name so well. Thank you so much.
All right, Lagos, we've got to go on a break. When we come back, I'll be saying my proper goodbye. Stay with us.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3